Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Great Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Well, here it is, another Wednesday, and this week we have for you the subject, why Feng Shui isn't real. Now, those of you who are really into Feng Shui, I know there's a lot of you who are really into Feng Shui. You're saying, why attack our hobby? Why go after Feng Shui? Why are you attacking our hobby? And why do you have so much aversion to what we do? Well, I'm not attacking your hobby, but I am here to say that Feng Shui isn't real, and that you're wasting your time practicing Feng Shui, that you're wasting your time, that it doesn't do anything for real. And it's imaginary, it's made up, they call it a science, but it's a pseudoscience. It's not for real. It's a divination game that people play. And like all divination games, it has no validity in reality. And it's very hard to prove Feng Shui isn't real, but let me relate to you my experiences, because I was very interested in Feng Shui at first, when I first heard about it, and I wanted to find out for myself, if Feng Shui was real, and if it really improved your fortune. So I experimented with Feng Shui, and based on my experiments, I can tell you absolutely, categorically, positively, Feng Shui is not real. And let me tell you about my experiences now. So I tried two different kinds of Feng Shui. There's the black hat Feng Shui, which uses the cardinal directions to map out a space and assign artifact to each quadrant that corresponds with that cardinal direction. So that's the black hat Feng Shui. And then there's the more complex Feng Shui that uses formulas based on numbers to decide what the Feng Shui is of any given cardinal direction, any given quadrant, and then offers corrections in the form of artifacts to correct the Feng Shui of that quarter. I tried both kinds, and in both cases, my luck was either the same or worse. And it was worse on two separate occasions. On two separate occasions, my luck was worse. I became homeless after experimenting with Feng Shui. And that was two times. Two times I became homeless after experimenting with Feng Shui to make my space more amenable. And all the other times I experimented with Feng Shui, there was no change in my fortune. My fortune didn't get better. It was not any noticeably better or worse. I was just the same. Nothing changed. And so I'm here to tell you today that I have explored Feng Shui very thoroughly, and I've explored the different kinds of Feng Shui very thoroughly, and I'm here to tell you that my luck did not change or it got worse. So Feng Shui is really dumb, and it's a hard thing to say to a lot of people who believe in it, who put their faith in Feng Shui, who believe in this form of divination game. It's not a game to some people. To some people, it's deadly serious, and they pay thousands of dollars to Feng Shui experts for artifacts to correct the Feng Shui in any given corner of their house. And sometimes they use a lopan, a big compass with lines and strings going everywhere, and all sorts of little directions that are minuscule mini directions in between the major cardinal directions. There's mini directions, and they make adjustments to every single corner of their house. I'm here to tell you none of that works. None of that works. It doesn't improve your luck, and your luck might possibly get worse. Now, in my personal case, lightning very rarely strikes twice, okay? But in my case, lightning struck twice, and my luck got worse. I became homeless after using Feng Shui, and what that told me was that the goddess does not approve of Feng Shui. Why? Because it has no validity. It's another thing that controls people's lives. And Goddess does not like anything that controls people's lives. It's not valid. There's no validity to Feng Shui. And so Goddess punished me for experimenting with it by making me homeless. And I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson not to experiment with Feng Shui because there's no validity to it, and it can make your luck noticeably worse, if not neutral. So don't experiment with Feng Shui. Honor Goddess's wish that we be free of all of these divination games and all influences from divination, because it's just a baby game, and there's no validity to it, and we shouldn't let it control our lives. We shouldn't change a single thing we do. Not a single thing we do. We shouldn't change anything. We should just live our lives. I'm Sarah Jane Alpha Wolf, signing off. Have a great week, and don't experiment with Feng Shui.